All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praises and glory and honor to Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Makar and the Heavenly Father, true name is Yahweh, and His unbegotten Son, Hamashiach Kapashai, those are their true names in the ancient Paleo Hebrew, Lashon Kadash Lutan, and I say Barakabam to the elders and apostles, Wa'akim, Wa'akwaf, and I say Shalom. And this is a sit-down lesson of the prophecy updates as of August the 29th, 2025 on this Friday night. And this is from RT.com, published August the 30th, 2025, and it reads, it says, BRICS is a key pillar of global agriculture. Putin reports, the global majority deserves a new non-discriminatory financial system. The Russian president says, Russia and China are working together to strengthen the roles of the BRICS economy bloc in shaping global affairs and to reform the international financial system, and it cannot be used as an instrument of the discrimination of a neocolorism. President Vladimir Putin has said. It says in an interview with Zinhalia, published ahead of his visit to China, Putin held cooperations with Moscow, Beijing, in a multicultural format such as the United Nations, the G20, and the Shanghai Cooperations Organizations. It says the SCO and especially with the BRICS to expand its role as a key pillar of global agriculture. We stand united as the strengthening BRICS ability to address pressing global challenges and sharing similar views of regional and international security and take common stands against discriminatory sanctions that hinders the social economic developments of BRICS members and the world at large. Russian president says, according to Putin, China and Russia are committed to reform the International Monetary Fund and the World Bank in order to create a new financial system based on openness and true equity, and providing equity and a new discrimination access to its tools for all countries, and reflecting in a real standing of member states in global economy. So that shows you that this is a modern day spiritual tower of Babel. 1044 called Hola Yabashim Shah. And that end up to the O, if you know what I mean. And that pushing of that 2030 agenda as well too. And the pushing of this new financial system. Like it's what's that? Revelations 13, verse 16 to verse 18. And that's gonna implement the digital money and digital currency, Bitcoin, stablecoin, cryptocurrency, especially with this new financial system they're trying to push forth. And it's end up to the old type agenda and 2030 agenda they pushing forth as well too. It says the president noted that the two countries share broad common interests in striking similar views of fundamental questions with the united vision and building a just multipolar world order with a focus on the nations of the global majority. It says his official visit to China will take place August 31st to September 3rd, beginning with his participation in the SEO summit in Tianjin. Following the Victory Day event in Beijing, will hold talks with Xi Jinping as well as the leader and another BRICS founding member, India Prime Minister. It says Russia Yep, it says Russia and China unites in our vision, right? So they continue to be economical partners and military partners. So you definitely see that economic relations between China, Russia, Iran, North Korea, and with the BRICS nations on top of that as well too, as they trying to create a new financial system that could be for all allies, for one another. And that's pushing forth that new order, that new economical war agenda, which we've seen between these nations. And that's continuing to increase more and more on a daily basis. It says Russia and China unites in our vision, Putin says. Russian president has praised the deepening strategic partnership with Beijing ahead of the SEO summit and Victory Day. Yep. And it says Trump Congress to cut cash for Ukrainian painters. Media reports the U.S. president plays to dismantle the country's international propaganda network. This is an art by the Ukrainian woman of the Alphabet Lifestyle organizations are among the series of projects funded by the U.S. Agencies for International Development, USAID, target cancellations by the administration. The U.S. President Donald Trump, the New York Post has reported a House requests U.S. lawmakers to recline an unwanted spending, including $3.2 billion allocated to the USAID, which the administration has pleased to dismantle the programs to be extolled, including a 1.5 million promoting artwork of Ukrainian women, 3.9 million to support the Alphabet Lifestyle community in the Western Balkan, 24.6 million for climate resilience in the Honduras, according to the report. The move followed by a rule by the D.C. Court of Appeals that lifted injunctions on Trump efforts to clearing the way for the request proceeded. That's St. Mark. It's the book of St. Mark, chapter 3, verse 24. And if a kingdom be divided against itself, the kingdom cannot stand. St. Mark 3, verse 25. And if a house be divided against itself, the house cannot stand. Right, so you saying that. Revelations 13, verse 16. Just to back off that new world financial agenda, between the BRICS nations and China, Russia, Iran, North Korea, and all these other nations that want to follow the lead as well too. And that's going to implement this central digital bank currency. That's going to implement this digital money, digital assets, virtual assets, cryptocurrency. It's a cryptocurrency converting money into coins and chips. And that's what we're seeing. Because the BRICS nations and Russia teaming up with them to have a new form of coming together order of this new economical system, they're trying to push. It says Revelation chapter 13, verse 16, and it calls all, both small and great, rich or poor, free or bond, to receive a charagma in their right hand or in their FOREHEDS. Revelations 13, verse 17, and that no man might buy or sell, say that he have the charagma or the name of the BAST for the number of his name. Revelations 13, verse 18, here is wisdom, let him have understanding. Count the number of the BAST, for it is a number of men, his number is SIX, the residue scored SIX. Revelations 14 and verse 8, and there followed another angel saying, Babylon is fallen, that great city, because she had made all the nations drink the wine and wrath of fornication, right to this day. So leave it at that. It's the book of Luke 21 and verse 25. And there shall be signs in the sun and the moon upon the earth disgressive nations will perplex the seekers one. Right, so we're gonna see some more signs of that. Even though it's gonna be up and down balance, but we definitely seeing the increasing signs in the sun and upon the earth disgressive nations will perplex the seekers one, which we see that as well too. Yep, it says Trump asks Congress to cut cash for Ukrainian painters, media reports. It says Trump India tariffs could backfire. Right, because I believe there was a news article, I would say like a couple of days ago, that the 50% tariffs that India, that 50% tariffs that the United States used on India, it was coming to full effect. So potentially it might affect businesses over there in India, potentially. So this news article from the top economics, it was saying the Trump India tariffs could backfire, potentially. So we're going to see how that plays out. Because we definitely been seeing, with these economical tariffs that the United States been putting on these other countries, places like Brazil, places like India, places like Canada, places like Mexico, and other different parts of other countries as well too. So we're gonna see how that plays out. Just like I brought up that St. Mark the third chapter. So you're definitely gonna have economical wars, political wars, geopolitical wars, trade wars, tariff wars. Yep, some more we got once again for edification's sake. Yep, St. Mark chapter, in fact, St. Mark chapter 3. And yep, St. Mark chapter 3 and verse 24. And if a kingdom be divided against itself, the kingdom not stand. Right, so kingdom being divided against itself economical wise with these tariff wars and trade wars, political wars, geopolitical wars. So definitely continue to increase. St. Mark 3 verse 25. And if a kingdom and if a house be divided, so the house can stand. Right, we see that as well too. It says Ukraine missile launch destroyer Russian strike. It says U.S. vote visas for Palestinian president and other officials ahead of the UN General Assembly. Yep, so that's only going to stir up more tensions between the nations, especially, we've been seeing, because, you got the United States and, because you got the United States and Israel are allies, and then you've been having the tensions between, the Palestinians versus the Israeli Defense Force as well, too. That goes into that St. Mark the third chapter. It says Trump global tariffs are illegal. Federal court rules. Here is why, and they remain in place. Right, that goes right along with that St. Mark the third chapter as well too. It says Madia heads to China and signals India has alternative to the U.S. amending steep tariffs. It says Israel launches initially expanded operations to Gaza. I believe they had halted some of those aid packages that were supposed to be sent into Gaza once again. I believe they're going to block it. And then they're going to extend the operation over there in Gaza City, which they had a vote a couple of weeks ago to fully take it over. Lebanese army plans to carry out sensitive missions, amending the U.S.-backed Hezbollah disarm plan. That's another sign of wars and rumors of wars. Matthew, the 24th chapter. Ukraine diplomatic momentum at risk, amending a large-scale Russian strike. Grab another sign of wars and rumors of wars. Says a drone close in civilians flee humanitarian help. It says C19 cases, hospitalizations ticking up in the U.S. but remains lower than last year. That says second address 15 verse 5. It says FDA. It says the FDA expands warnings of radioactive shrimp. It says 2 more brands are recalled. Right, that's what you call that, pestilence. Yep, second address 15 verse 5. It says Israel strikes Syria, Yemen's Hezbollah disarm rumors of wars. It says Israel strikes and many continuing Houthi missile launches against Israel. Another sign of wars and rumors of wars. Bring up that St. Mark 13th chapter. Then we'll close it out. So this was just a prophecy update, a quick prophecy update. This is St. Mark chapter 13 and verse 7. It says, and ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. Writers will hear wars and rumors of wars. Russia-Ukraine situation heating up. Tensions between the Israel Defense Force and the Houthi rebels that's heating up. And all these different nuclear escalations and tensions are heating up. So we're going to see more trade wars, more economical wars, more geopolitical wars, more political wars, more trade wars, more tariff wars as well too. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of war. See that you be not troubled, for all these things must need be, but the end should not be yet. Right, it's going to come to pass, but not going to end just yet. St. Mark 13 verse 8. For nation shall rise against nation, which goes into ethnos, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be earthquakes in diverse places, and famines and troubles. These are the beginning of sorrows. So with that, hopefully this sit down lesson was edifying of the prophecy updates as of August the 29th, 2025 on this Friday night. So with that, I'd like to give all praises and glory and honor to Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Mokar, Kadash, and the Heavenly Father. True name is Yahweh, and His only begotten Son, Bahashem, and the name of and the names of Hamashiach Abishai. Those are the true names in the ancient Paleo Hebrew, the last one Kadash tongue. And I say Barakatham to the elders and apostles, wa Akima Akwa. To next time, I will say Shalom.